Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Chasing 70 Degrees. My name is Travis and I'm finally coming to you from inside my Jayco J-Feather 25 RB travel trailer. So I know that a lot of the videos I've been doing lately have been about mountain biking. Well, I'm at the Ute Mountain Casino here in Colorado, getting ready to pass into Utah. And I had some downtime and I figured this would be a great time, especially now that I've got over 2,700 miles traveled and I've been on the road now for approximately 3 weeks. So I've definitely been on the road for a while. I was going to make some videos early on, but I wanted to experience the trailer first so I could kind of get a better feel as to, the things I like, the things I don't like. And so the number one feature about this trailer that I love is the bathroom. I mean, it is massive. And so here's what I'm going to be covering in this video. I've got measurements of pretty much everything that you could get in the bathroom area. If you hear any background noise, it's probably a little fan that I've got going on the floor over here. It's really hot today. But we're going to dive in, take a look at the bathroom, and I'm going to break down everything, the likes, the dislikes, the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Jayco J-Feather 25 RB. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. All right, so I'm going to be shooting this by hand. As you can see, we've got the entryway right there. Now, I know that it looks really, really small here with the camera angle or the view, but I'm telling you, there is plenty of space inside this bathroom. So let's go ahead and start with one of the first things, and that is the GFCI outlets right here. So you can see we've got 2 outlets. Now, unlike your house, and we learned this the hard way, the light is not supposed to be on. I'm hooked up to 50 amp shore power right now. And so the light is not supposed to be on. When the light was on, we didn't have any power on the little pop-up thing in the kitchen that's got a couple outlets that are tied to this same GFCI. So when the light is on, that means that this is tripped. When the light is off, that means your business as usual, everything's working great. We've got 2 switches here. The first switch on the left, when the switches are in the up position, that means that they're on. And that switch actually powers or controls the small fan here in the ceiling in the restroom. So if I click the fan on, you'll see it's going to turn on. But if I come back down here and I flick this first switch, the fan turns off. So I like to leave that on because I'm usually just flicking the switch right here once I get that open. Now I'm thinking about replacing that with maybe a little larger fan. There's one in the sort of the main seating area by the dinette and the recliners that's a lot larger, a lot quieter, seems to do a much better job. So that's something that we're probably going to be replacing here soon. Now this next switch here, that controls the lights. You can see if I flick it up, the lights will come on, and actually I've got a third light here. Let me get that turned on. And so you can see there's 3 lights in the bathroom here. You've got one by the vanity, and I'm going to get into the vanity and the measurements here in a second. You've got one over the toilet, and then you have this one here, which is sort of by the shower. And I'm going to kick open the shower here in just a second. But when we take a look at the 2 switches, that's basically what we have control over, the fan and then the 3 lights. Now, you can turn the lights on and off individually. So if the switch is up like that, I can come up here and turn that light off. I can turn that light off. So again, if there's like lights that you want individually to be on, you can go ahead and do that as well. I'm going to leave these on to hopefully give us a little better view into some of the things that we've got. Now, this is one of the things that I wasn't happy with, that I don't like. I'm going to be pulling these 2 screws out of the sort of towel holder here. This is a pretty small hand towel. It's not a washcloth, but it's kind of like a hand towel, one that you'd find in the kitchen. And I don't like how it lays down here on the actual countertop of the sink, just because, I don't know, it's just me. I don't like that. So I don't know why they didn't put it up a little bit higher. And what you might be thinking is, well, wait a second, if they put it higher, then when this gets opened, it's going to bang into it. And that is not what happens here. And let me tell you why. Because when you open the medicine cabinet or the vanity door, the left-hand door, it's going to hit this sort of, little feature that they've got up here where the door slides shut. It hits that long before it would hit that. So the mirror is not going to make contact up in here with that sort of handle holder there. So that's something that I'm going to do. The other thing I thought was, well, maybe I've got my solar charge controller here, which I'm going to be replacing with a Renogy controller. And I thought maybe they didn't put it higher up. Maybe there's some wires in here or something. But that's definitely something that I want to move again. Just sort of a nice to have. And so we've got the medicine cabinets open. And let's talk about these here. I mean, the space in here is insane. You can see just how much stuff. And let me get these both open for you here. You can see, I mean, I've even got space up here. We tried to use as much space as we could, and there is still space to go. So we've got, you know, even a little bit of room over here if I wanted to move some things around. But what are the measurements here, right? So the cabinets, when we take a look at the cabinets, they're 13 inches tall, so it's 13 inches from top to bottom here. It's 13 inches from top to bottom here. And it is 53 inches wide, right? And how deep does it go? Well, if we were to go ahead and, you know, if I was to put my hand in here, it is at least 8 or 9 inches deep. I mean, there is a ton of space. And so my wife actually picked out these plastic sort of holders, and you're definitely going to want something like this. I have some affiliate links below to these plastic sort of holders here. Now, again, I've already traveled 2,700 miles, and I've gone through the Gunnison National Forest on unpaved roads for almost 2 hours, and nothing has fallen out of these plastic containers here. Like every time I go and I stop, everything is sort of dress right dress, nice and organized and ready to go, right? So again, the cabinets are massive, 13 inches tall, it's 53 inches wide, and it's about 8 or 9 inches deep. In fact, let me reach and grab a tape measure here, and we will get an exact measurement. And I don't know what I did with that tape measure. All right, so we're gonna have to wait on the tape. Oh, there it is. Hold on one second. Okay. So I've got the tape measure here. And let's go ahead and stretch it out here, and let's see just how deep these are. I'm sorry, it's not 9 inches. It's closer to 10. Closer to 10 inches deep, right? So again, this was, for us, this was like a major selling point, was the bathroom. Just the amount of storage in here. And I haven't even cracked open these two sort of towel closets here, or towel spaces there. You've got another sort of slot space here that is much bigger than it looks. And then we've got the under the sink space. And so let's talk about the under the sink space. I'm trying to give you a good shot here as I'm backing into the shower a little bit. Now, one thing that you do need to be aware of is that this is the piping for the sink right above, right? For the bathroom sink. And it would have, I mean, I guess there's really no other way to get around this, but it is what it is. And so I kind of keep my bio packs in here. In fact, I need to drop one of these into the black tank today. But you've got the pipe here, but you can see I've still got room for, what do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I've got about 14 rolls of toilet paper down in here. And I still have, I've got three BioPack things, and I still have all this space. And again, my wife was really big on putting liner down pretty much everywhere, and it actually kind of matches up nicely there. So again, you've got additional space down here. I've got, like I said, 14 rolls of toilet paper, 3 BioPack things, and even more room down here. So what are the measurements under the sink? Well, it is 15.5 inches deep, right? So this goes back 15.5 inches if I was to grab my tape measure and slot it back there, about 15.5 inches. I'm sorry, 15.5 inches wide. So we're looking at about 18 inches out, maybe 17.5, probably a little bit closer. And it is 22 inches wide, right? So going from left to right, you got 22 inches. But again, remember, they've put this pipe right here. So it's going to chew up some of your space, but plenty of room down here. So again, 15.5 inches tall is what I should have said. Let me get a measurement on that, make sure we're right on that. Yeah, I don't know where I at that 15.5. So it's about a foot tall, basically. So a foot tall, 22 inches wide. And then I guess the next thing to talk about is this slot space right here. Now, I thought this was interesting. Again, there's so many creative ideas in terms of the spacing in the bathroom anyway, that the little slot space, it's 8 inches deep, 6.5 inches tall, and 26.5 inches wide, right? So 26.5 inches wide and 6.5 inches tall, because again, this is kind of like a lip. It goes, you can see it goes up once you get beyond the lip right here. And there is a little lip right here. And again, I've been traveling with this extension cord right here for 2,700 miles, and this thing has yet to fall out of here. You'll also see that there are 2 more additional outlets over here, right? So again, a great use of maybe what would have been some wasted space, but you've got 2 outlets over here. And I'm going to tell you what I use one of those outlets for with this extension cable, and that's to power the washer, my washing machine. And I'm going to do a separate video on the washing machine. So again, really nice space right here, 8 inches deep, 6.5 inches tall, 26.5 inches long. All right, now this trash can right here was a perfect fit, and this thing is actually pretty large. It is 9 inches wide, and it fits just beautifully in here. And you'll notice that if I was to go to try to raise the lid up here, let's do that. You can see I can raise the lid without any issues. It does. You don't need to raise it wide, totally wide open. If you're going to empty it, I usually slide it out. And then I'll go ahead and I'll remove the bag and take care of that. But this trash can fits beautifully right there. We thought about maybe something over here, but again, you've got the pipe that comes out. It would have been nice had they, and I don't know, you know, what's going on behind here, but maybe if they had moved it as far back as they could have, you could have gotten maybe something else in here, maybe like a, you know, a toilet brush cleaner if that's what you wanted to do. But again, it sort of is what it is. And then there's the toilet. Now you have a rack holder, or I should say rack holder, a towel holder right here. And this one, I like, right? This one I like. The towel's up, it's out of the way, it's not hanging down onto the toilet, sort of unlike, this little hand towel over here. Again, you could put a washcloth there, but I don't use a washcloth to dry my hands. I like using towels that are that size. So again, I'm just going to move that one up a little bit. So now we're going to go into even more space. And this is kind of crazy in here. And I'm hoping that I'm back far enough so that you're going to be able to see how deep this space is right here. Now, this is the top of the 2 sort of, linen towel closets, right? This is the top one. And the dimensions are different, and I'll tell you why. Because if you look down here on the bottom, this wall kind of juts out right here because you've got the shower, the handles for the shower and stuff like that. And so that actually comes out a little bit, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But let's just talk about this space right up in here. So on the top, right, this is 28 inches deep. So it goes back almost 3 feet. And again, I'm trying to give you some different views of this, right? You've got a nice little sort of hanger thing. If you wanted to hang something up in here, you could do that. I've got some rags, some beach towels, and then some other towels. So this is 28 inches deep. I'm sorry, I don't want to say 28 inches deep. I wanted to say, I'm on the wrong one here. Hold on, the towels. So I was looking at the shower there. All right, so sorry about that. So this right here, it's 13 inches wide. It's 29 inches long. So it's 13 wide here, and I've got my measurements written down. So 13 across, and it goes back 29 inches. And then let's go ahead and see if we can get, I didn't do the height. And on the inside, you're looking at probably 23. Yeah, you're looking at about 23 inches tall. So, I mean, this is a massive space in here, right? And as you can see, I'm not even using a fraction of the space that's in here, so you could use it for something else. Now, the one thing I did not like, again, I told you the good, the bad, the ugly. So here are the two sort of strip pieces. One goes up here on the left, and then one goes in the very, very back, right, I'm still reaching, right there, right? That's how deep this is. It goes right there. And these fell off on the first day, right? As we were driving it home after we took delivery, they fell off, right? So I need to Gorilla Glue those back up. I just haven't had time to do that. So that is the top storage area. Again, it is massive. And there's other things that you can put in there if you just didn't want to put towels in there, I guess. Now, something I do need to get, and I was telling my wife about this the other night, are some motion lights. Because you'll notice, you know, the top one, not so much. It's pretty light, but the bottom one, it's really dark back in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm going to get some motion lights. And, you know, put a comment down below. If you've got a motion light that you like and that's really, really good, I'd love to hear about it and pick up a pair. So I definitely want to put some motion lights in there as well. So now the measurements on the bottom, it's 29 inches deep. So it's the same depth, but it's only 11 inches across. So up here in the top one, it was 13 inches across, but we lose a couple inches, 2 inches to be exact, because of this piece of wood that sort of comes out at an angle to allow for the shower, all right? So that is all of the storage that is in here. You've got those two towel linen closet things there. You've got all of this space up here, and believe me, that is a ton of space. You've got this sort of slot down here with an electrical outlet. And then you've got the under the sink storage space. And nobody says you have to use these things for just bathroom stuff. Now, let's take a look at the shower, right? So the thing I love about the shower, I'm about 6 feet tall, and I fit in here with plenty of room. Again, we looked at a couple Forest River travel trailers, and that was one of the things I didn't like, is literally I had to like crunch down, and I'm only about 6 feet tall. So I've got my little scrunchy thing there, and we just threw that up. Again, if you've got some shower ideas, I would love to hear them. I'm interested in some sort of a, like a tension rod or something that maybe I can hang some stuff up on if I didn't want to hang it outside. So when we take a look at the shower, right, and I've had great success with the shower. Nothing's gone wrong. It's been fantastic. It's 36 inches wide, 77.5 inches up into the sunlight, and it's 72.5 inches to the ceiling, right? So we're talking 77 inches up in here into the sunlight, or into the sunlight, and then the ceiling right here is about 72.5 inches. And again, 36 inches wide, plenty of space. I have bumped into the handles a couple times, and you will know immediately when you do that, because if you hit the hot water off and you got the cold water on, you're going to know that right away. And typically what I'm doing is, for whatever reason, I'm like turning around, I'll hit the cold water handle, and boy, you'll know it gets pretty hot pretty quick. And so then the final thing is, this is where I keep my washing machine. Again, I'm going to be doing a separate video on this thing, and this thing is an absolute workhorse. I love this washer, and it's not washer dryer. So you wash in here, you spin in here. But again, 2,700 miles. This is where we keep it. The gray stuff underneath that you can see at the feet, my wife cut those out because she didn't, like, you know, if you're moving it around, or if it maybe moves around a little bit, we didn't want it to scratch up, if that's possible, the base of the shower. So we just dropped those down underneath it when we put it on top of that. And then the feet sit on that. 2,700 miles. This thing has never tipped over. And again, I've been from Maryland all the way to Colorado, through the Gunnison National Forest on unpaved road, some pretty rough road out there, Interstate 70, whatever the case may be. But again, 2,700 miles, and I have never had an issue with this tipping over on me. So I'm going to do a separate video on how easy it is to use this thing and how awesome this thing is. And another reason to keep it in the shower is because when I go to fill it, all I need to do is grab the shower head, put it in here, again, whether I'm hooked to city water, I've got a city water connect right now, or if I was pulling from my freshwater tank with the water pump on, this is where to do it. And this is where I do all the laundry. Then you put it into the little slot, you put the wash laundry here to spin it, and then you can take it out and hang it up. All right, well, hopefully you guys appreciated all the measurements and the detail. Again, I'm sorry, I was missing a few of the measurements there, but this is the Jayco J-Feather 25RB bathroom deep dive. All right, well, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Give me some of your ideas for bathroom sort of storage space. You can see how much empty space I have over there, right? I mean, what could I do over there to maybe maximize all of that counter space? And I guess, to take one quick go back here, if we were to measure out all of this counter space over here, sorry about that, I'm kind of getting sideways. If we were to measure the counter space out from the, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold the, there we go. So if you look at the counter, right, take a look at that. 30 inches deep, right? And all the way over to the sink, it's another 32 inches. I mean, so you've got the space here, 30 inches deep by 32 inches long, almost 3 feet. Lots of places where you could put some stuff. Again, I'd love to hear your ideas as to how you guys are organizing your bathrooms, because that's usually where I get my best ideas, is from watching your videos as well. All right, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and as I like to say, enjoy the chase.